Girlfriend, are you stuck trying to expand your reach? Well, you are in the right place. If you've ever wondered how to create a value packed incentive to grow your email list, we're going to get to the bottom of that in today's video. We will see you inside. Hi there, my name is Ingafay, and I'm a confidence coach. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how to increase your prospects' curiosity to the point that they would want to give you your email. We're going to give you the first step of that action. Secondly, we're going to talk about how you need to do the background work on how to create this incentive. So we'll give you some tricks and tips on how to do that. And last but definitely not least, we're going to talk to you about how to create a framework that is irresistible. Let's do this, shall we? First, we're going to talk about how you can enhance the curiosity of your prospect or viewer that they will want to give you their email. One of the first things that I think that will help you achieve this is by coming up with a catchy name for your incentive. And there are two ways that you can potentially do this. The first way is alliteration. And basically what that means is that you have similar sounds, first sounds of the words that you use. Some alliterations that I've used in the past is one I call my savvy survey system. So all of the words start with the letter S and they just smoothly run across. So when somebody hears that, they're just like, what is the savvy survey system? I want to know about that. Another thing that I have created is called facial fitness, because I am in skincare. So when somebody sees facial fitness, oh, what is that all about? So it's enhancing, they are just curious to know what the particular incentive is, to the point that they will give you their email and name so they can find out exactly what you're giving them. So think about that when you're creating an incentive for a landing page that will draw people in to your world. Another way that you can do that is by using a rhyme. I know my brother is famous for this, so I'm going to give you a couple of his. One of those is called Phenomenal Abdominals. This is a class that he actually teaches, and it's all an ab class. But just the mere fact that it's called Phenomenal Abdominals, that has that rhyme to it, it intrigues people to the point that they want to participate. Another thing that he also uses is he calls himself Amazing Phasing. Again, using rhymes to draw people in as a result of, just kind of playing on words to the point that they would be curious enough to want to know more about it. And that's exactly what you are doing. You're increasing the curiosity factor to the point they're just like, what is that all about? I want to know a little bit more about that. So before we go on to talking about how you can do some background work to really get the information that you need for this incentive, I want to remind you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We upload a video every Thursday for your viewing pleasure, and we don't want you to miss a beat. So be sure to subscribe. So now let's talk about some of the things you should do kind of in the background before you create this incentive. Now, one of the things that I have learned to do is you always want to do some kind of research. And the research is going to help you come up with something really jazzy that is going to make the incentive really valuable to the person that is requesting it. And typically what I like to do is one of two things. One is do some kind of market research. I'll do some kind of survey that maybe I'm polling my clientele or even my followers on social media to find out what they're thinking, and then to determine what the information is that they want to have. And based on that information, I will create something to serve that purpose. Another thing is I also like to use Googleina, is what I call it. Just Google and be able to, once I find out what the actual topic is, I can go and do my own personal research, read a couple of articles, find out more information about it, just basically finding out more so I can provide more value to my prospects as well as my current clientele with this incentive. So think about those kind of things when it comes time for you to create your checklist or some kind of written form or just anything that you can provide your prospect or client that will be tons of value for them. And it's essentially going to make their life easier. Those are the type of things that you want your incentive to include. So make sure that you do that. So I'm curious, what are some of the things that you do to come up with an incentive that is going to be that people are going to want to know more about, and they, as a result of that, it's just irresistible. They gotta, like, I gotta know what it is. I just gotta know. Tell us about some of the things that you've done in the past. We would love to know. Comment below and let us know that. So last but definitely not least, I want to tell you about how to actually create the incentive. What are some of the things that you can do to just make this a great incentive? First and foremost, because you've done that second step we just talked about, doing the research, or you poll your audience, you kind of have a general idea of what they're saying and how they're saying it. So you want to have it in a way, you want to write the framework or the system that you're describing in your incentive in a way that is relatable to them, that's using their own words. So that's why it's really great to do that poll or that market survey first. So you'll say it the way they say it instead of saying it the way you say it. And to the point that people will say, oh, wow, was she in my head? How did she know what I was thinking? Because you're saying it in their language. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, you also want to have step-by-step instruction that will kind of tell them exactly how to do it. Now, when I say step-by-step instruction, you're not giving unless your product and service is what's giving them the actual steps. You're kind of giving them an overview of what the framework is. You're not telling them how to do it, but you're giving them an overview of why they would want to have that particular thing that you're describing in the framework. For example, if you were talking about, I'll say, cleaning brushes, makeup brushes, one of the things you would talk about is having a brush cleaner. But you're not going to go in and tell them, okay, you need to make sure that your brushes are upside down, that the water is going away from the bristles. Those are the kind of things that you want to tell them after you got them in your world, and that you may have a product or a service that works for them. So you will tell them exactly how to use that product or service. That's when you want to give the tactical type of instruction. This checklist or guide is more of an overview of what your product or service would do. So you're not actually giving them the goods yet. You're just kind of giving them an overview of what they need to do. And then if they want to take the next step, which is possibly working with you or buying your product or your service, then that would be the next step. But you're not going to give them all the steps. It's just an overview. I hope that's understood. So you're given a step-by-step instruction that is an overview of what they do, that is potentially your product or your service is the solution, would be the next step for them to take if they want to take action on going to the next level. So those are the three key ingredients that's going to come from that market survey, because you're going to find out what they need and how you can fill that need with your product or service. So that's pretty much how it goes down. You come up with a catchy name, you do the research and find out what they want and how your product or service can potentially fill that. You come up with a framework that can be neatly a digital type of product that you can do in a PDF, probably on Canva or something, and you send it to them. And then in that PDF, you're also going to suggest, hey, now, if you want the next step, this is what it is. And you can do that. So I'm hoping that this was a benefit to you. If you're looking for more ways on how to expand your reach and get more people in your net, as far as expanding how many people that you're able to serve through your prospecting and networking, I would love to set up a fitting call with you to see if you are a potential client for our relationship accelerator. We're all about building our business through relationships, treating people like people and not numbers. So if that's something that you would be interested in, the fitting call is free. It's a 15-minute phone call. Just click the link below to get more information about it. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.